Hello and welcome to another video game story time with me, Sky Fellowship. While a lot of the videos that I actually put up on here tend to be stories designed around games that got me through trauma and explaining some of the shit that was going on at the time, there's every now and then I do just want to actually talk about the positives of a game and why I loved it, and just without anything around that. And Soul Edge is one of those games. Well, SoulBlade. It's one of those that I'm trying to remember where it was called Soul Edge, because I know it was SoulBlade in some countries and Soul Edge in other countries, and this version is SoulBlade, and I think that might have been what we had growing up. Maybe we are the ones who had Soul Edge, and it's either way. The main reason it doesn't really matter is because this is Soul Calibur, and this was the very first game in Soul Calibur, and I've always absolutely adored fighting games. It's always been one of my favourite genres, and when I got this, I'd never played anything like it. Like, this was one of those, like, the PlayStation had a lot of fighters on it. A fuck ton of fighters. It truly fucking did. Loads of Street Fighters, loads of, I think there was a couple of Fatal Furies, there were loads of Tekken games. Like, Tekken tended to be the one that most people loved. And I was never the biggest Tekken fan, to be honest. I still haven't actually got around to playing Tekken 3. It's on my list of ones to actually play through. But I got this, and I was hooked. I was just absolutely fucking hooked. I played through every arcade character. I played through the, like, story mode, because it had a mission mode where it was like, beat these levels doing different challenges, where it's like, you've been poisoned as Li Long, and every time you attack, you lose health. So you've got to make sure that you attack in just the right moments, and you can't be countered or anything, because otherwise you lose half your health. There was so many unique, fun things that even my friend who didn't actually like fighting games, however weirdly he liked Tekken, but even he who didn't like fighting games would sit there and we'd just constantly pass the controller back and forth, each playing as different characters, each trying to figure it out. So it was a case of, if a mission forced you to play as Li Long, I loved Li Long and I played as Li Long a ton, and it would always be a case of, right, I'll take the Li Long missions. If it was Huang here, he was a lot better at Huang than I was, so it was like, right, I'll take the Huang missions. And it was just, despite not having co-op, it was a weird way to actually play co-op, and I truly do love the game, and it's like, I've been wanting to play it again for years. I love Soul Calibur still, but I don't love a lot of Soul Calibur games. I got the first one on the Dreamcast, and really fucking loved it, and thought, yep, this is just like a perfect arcade fighter. It's a shame there's no campaign. Then they made the second one, obviously, on the GameCube, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic, because it was nice to have Link. I would love, one day, for capitalism to just let us have Link, Spawn, and Heihachi, but unfortunately, Nintendo kind of shot that idea down, so I don't think we're ever going to get a version of Soul Calibur 2 with all three. But Soul Calibur 2 was the last Soul Calibur that I truly loved. I played through all of the mission mode on that as well, unlocking all of the weapons, and even that, just the fact that you can unlock new weapons that change the gameplay up, and like have weapons that allow you to have more offense but no defense, or weapons that would heal you, or weapons that would poison if memory serves. Like, there's so many different things. Rock in this game, because I used to love playing as Rock and Li Long, funnily enough, the two characters that just, like, got deleted after this franchise. Li Long essentially became Maxi, and Rock became Astaroth, I think he's called, a kind of demon type thing, but they never felt the same. I at least like Maxi. I really didn't like what they did to Rock's archetype, but Rock had an axe where basically he could heal, so you used to be able to be so cheap and just, like, attack someone and then run away and heal, and it was funny as fuck. Some of the things that you could do, I love the franchise. But then the third one came out, and it was all about create a character stuff, and I really didn't like it. Then the fourth one came out and added Yoda and Darth Vader, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine with guest characters, but this is feeling a bit weird, and Yoda kind of broke the game. I genuinely cannot remember if I ever played 5. Like, I can barely remember anything at all about 5. I knew there was a PSP game that I played a bit of, and it was okay, and it had Kratos in it. And then 6 came out, and 6 is the first one since 2 that I actually at least like the basic gameplay of. So I'd play through the arcade mode of that a bit, but I honestly can't even remember if it had a campaign story mode and a mission mode or anything. I didn't delve into it that much. I basically only beat the arcade runs with the characters, because I wanted some quick, easy fighting action. But for the longest time, I have been pissed off that this game, SoulBlade, Soul Edge, is just, it's unavailable anywhere. You just can't get it. And it meant that I had to actually look back to retro consoles to be able to finally play it. It holds up so well. This is still one of the best fighting games I've ever fucking played. I cannot believe how ahead of its time this fucking game was. I would have at least understood it if I'd went back into it and I was like, you know what? Now that Soul Calibur exists, yeah, the arcade version of that and like the GameCube version, they've clearly made this gameplay better and they've clearly done this. Those games are good. They're still really good. And I still love them. And Soul Calibur 2 is like tied with SoulBlade here as my actual favourite of the franchise. But that's saying something. These really are exceptionally good fighting games that have held up so well that I would just kill to actually get an actual... just a HD cleanup. I don't even want like a full remake. Just give us this version of it and do a little bit of cleanup and make it accessible and give us online gameplay so we can actually play with people again. And like the mission mode alone is worth playing through, let alone the actual solid arcade mechanics. And I know I'm just playing the most basic kind of button mashy combos here because I never really used to play as Shungmina that much. I do like her a lot in Soul Calibur 2, but it wasn't until Soul Calibur 2 that I actually started to play as Shungmina and Taki. I liked Taki a little bit, but I really wasn't that great. Hilariously, I never played as Mitsurugi. Just never played as him at all. He's my main character in Soul Calibur 2. That whatever changes they did to him, it's just like, you know what, this is peak for my kind of playstyle. I absolutely love him, and yeah, I'm hoping that we eventually get a Soul Calibur 7, but if we don't get a 7, can we just have this one back, please? Because I really, really like this game and I really miss it, and I cannot believe the amount of fun I'm having just button bashing. I am so going to run through and actually start the mission mode after this and really enjoy it, because it's held up so exceptionally fucking well. And I used to be part of the people who said old 3D games do not hold up well, and I do stand by it. For the most part, I feel 2D games en masse age better than 3D games, because 3D games have bad camera, they have little janky things, they have like control issues where we hadn't really discovered how fully best to control a character in a three-dimensional space. The games that have held up were so exceptionally good back then that I think we're starting to realise, hang on a second, these were actually, and still are, absolutely magnificent games, because the fact that in all of the advances with 3D gaming, these ones still look good, they still sound good, they still play good, they still run really well. These are the ones that actually were ahead of their time, and I honestly believe that with SoulBlade. I really do. And yeah, it's one of those that I don't really know how I'm going to end this video, but I at least wanted to at least show off Voldo, because seeing Voldo as a kid, or teenager I guess at the time, Voldo was a weird character to say the least, and Voldo remained weird throughout the franchise, and I'm kind of glad, because I used to love playing as Voldo, and the friend who didn't really like fighters, I was really good with along. I can't remember who he played as outside of Huang. I think he might have actually been a Shungmina character. And I couldn't counter Shungmina when I was playing Li Long, because Shungmina's obviously got range and width and like loads of... I can't remember the name of the actual... Is it Halberd? Halberd? I can't remember the actual name of her weapon, but she has this long fucking pole staff with a blade on the end. And Li Long is obviously Nunchaku, or flails, as they might have been called. And it was a nightmare trying to actually come anywhere near him. So I started to play as Voldo. And on top of the fact that he used to get so severely creeped out by Voldo's costumes, Voldo has like a spider crab move where he like flips on his back and crawls around. It went underneath all of Shungmina's attacks, and I used to be able to just absolutely ruin him as Voldo. And it's just little things like that I'd completely forgot about until I saw Voldo there, so I'm really glad that I actually let the episode run. I would love to remember how to do grapples like that. I've been trying to actually figure it out, and I thought it was pushing two attack buttons together, but I'll figure it out either way, because I'm kind of at the end of the video now, and I'm going to say, until next time, I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, what are some older 3D games that have actually held up for you, and that when you've went back to play them, you're like, you know what? This is still a fucking great game. This wasn't just good for the time. This is a genuinely fucking great game. And a simple remake wouldn't need much to actually make it functional and playable. We live in an age where full remakes happen. Like Resident Evil 4 got a full remake from the ground up, and I'm grateful it did. But there's some games like this, they don't really need a full remake. They just need slight modernization. and allow us to be able to play them online and like clean up some of the textures. And I mean, I say that, I still think the game actually looks good, but that's because I like PS1 games. I like the look of PS1 games, and that might be a nostalgia thing, but at the same time, I still think this looks better than some games. There's like asset flip games that come out all of the time, and they use stock assets from the Unreal Engine. Yes, they're in 4K resolution usually, and they like technically look really good, but they also look really bad. Whereas this, a good game with good art direction, still holds up to this day and looks fantastic. Right, and now that I have finally got my ass beat from Taki, I'm going to see it. Until next time, I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!